Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, May 18th, and I'm your host, Krista McDonald, here with the latest in Norwood News. Monday night, town meeting began deliberating the first 5 of 24 articles on the special town meeting warrant. David Hearn, town meeting moderator, recused himself as moderator for the first 5 articles to avoid any conflict of interest due to his involvement as an attorney on Article 4. Articles 2 and 4 garnered the most discussion. Article 2 requested an amendment to a zoning bylaw to establish an associate planning board member. The associate member would be appointed by the board and used as needed to act on special permit application where the board needs a supermajority to approve the application. The article passed and the zoning bylaw will be amended as such.
We'll move to the vote on the motion. This is a zoning bylaw amendment. Council, does that require a 2/3? All right, why don't we start with a voice vote? All those in favor of, this is on Article 2, motion to add an associate planning board member. All those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Nay. All right, the motion carries. Council.
Mr. Moderator, the bylaws require that if a 2/3, 4/5, or 9/10 vote is required by statute, a count shall be taken unless it's unanimous.
All right, then we'll take a count. To my left, those in favor of the motion, please stand. By a vote of 165 to 6, the motion is carried.
The majority of the debate Monday night was centered around Article 4. This article was added to the warrant by a group of residents. The article requested a change in the zoning map of 3 parcels of land on Moore Street from manufacturing to general residential. The residents are concerned that the purchaser of this land, Bach Enterprises, intends to use it as open lot storage. Residents expressed concerns about additional traffic, impact to wetlands, and quality of life in a residential area. The current owner of the land expressed his opposition to this article. A zoning map change requires a 2/3 majority vote at town meeting. The article did not meet the 2/3 majority and thus failed, resulting in no change to the zoning map.
This is again an amendment to the voting bylaw. I'm satisfied this is not going to be a unanimous vote, so we'll do a count. Mr. McFarland, could I ask you to do a count with Mr. Donnelly? By a vote of 61 in favor and 101 opposed, the motion has failed.
Thursday was the second night of town meeting. On night 2, the members finished the next 19 articles of the special town meeting warrant and opened the annual town meeting warrant. Most of the articles required votes from the members to move money from free cash or accounts within departments. Article 12 resulted in the largest depletion of free cash of the evening. Town meeting voted to approve $1.7 million to purchase a new financial system for the town. This system will replace a legacy system that has been utilized since the 1980s.
We proceed then to vote with respect to the motion. Under Article 12, $1.7 million be transferred from free cash and appropriated for the purpose of purchasing, implementing, and maintaining an enterprise resource planning program. On that, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. That is carried unanimously. Thank you.
Town meeting also approved using free cash to cover a $685,270 shortfall in the fiscal year 2018 snow and ice removal budget. Both the Board of Selectmen and the school committee acknowledge the challenge of budgeting this line item as it is dependent upon how much snow and ice falls during the winter months.
The Finance Commission for $673,000 to be taken from free cash and appropriated for snow and ice, $440,000 for public works, $205,000 for schools, $28,000 for the airport, total of $673,000. On that, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, please say no. That is carried.
Town meeting will reconvene on Monday, May 21st, to continue working on the fiscal year 2019 budget. Norwood Community Media will be broadcasting this meeting live and will be rebroadcasting town meetings night 1 and 2 on the NCM government channel. Stay tuned after this break to get caught up on everything that happened around town last weekend.
Expect them to set up the offense. Looks like they're setting up the play. Like I said, slowly settling. They're trying to end the game here.
Yeah, they are. Mark Dunn, bring it down low. He's going to bring it back out.
Reset.
Reset.
Oh, spin move.
Shoot.
That's game!
That's game!
That's game!
That's game!
That's Dunn with the
Junior
OT
captain
winner.
Mark Dunn with the overtime winner. And the Mustangs
That's
get
awesome.
their first victory of the year with a 6-5 win in overtime
That's
over the
amazing.
Norton Lancers.
Welcome back to Norwood News. Last Saturday was an extremely busy day around Norwood. In South Norwood, the Garden Club hosted their annual plant sale. At the town landfill, the health department held their hazardous waste day, and Norwood Sportsman Club had their first annual Louis Santoro Fishing Derby. In preparation for Mother's Day, many people lined up to buy last-minute flowers at the Garden Club's plant sale.
We have our plant sale on the Saturday before Mother's Day. The plants are grown in our members' gardens. Specifically, the perennials come from members' gardens, and they are split and divided and nurtured until the day of the plant sale. Some of our vegetables are grown by one woman in our garden from seed, so they are totally organic. The proceeds go to programs for the Garden Club and civic beautification around the town of Norwood and the town of Walpole. In Norwood, where our civic beautification sites are on the Norwood corridor, for instance, Washington Street. Here at the Hospool Park, we take care of the gardens close to the street. The narrow strip that's there is all shrubs. We have younger kids who are volunteering and helping today too, and it just helps them understand the importance of growing native plants and taking care of the perennials in your yard and growing your own vegetables and your own herbs. So there's a lot of exciting learning going on today.
We're selling plants and helping people move plants to their cars.
We have service hours for CCD, so we're working to do that, and it does feel good to really help people out.
It's a special day for mothers, and some people just want to give flowers to their mothers sometimes. Well, all the time, actually.
We see the same people here year after year, and it really is a community builder. People have learned over the years that we have good plants for sale, and when 9 o'clock comes, which is our opening time, we have 20 or 30 people waiting to get in, all lined up. And people come and buy a plant here, a perennial plant. They know that it's something that does well in Norwood, Massachusetts. Sometimes when you go to Home Depot, you don't know whether that plant's going to be happy here or not.
Hundreds visited the Norwood landfill Saturday morning to participate in Hazardous Waste Day. The Board of Health puts together this event twice a year to encourage the community to dispose of such materials properly. Town members drive down into the landfill and pull up to the appropriate station to throw things out. Staff from different departments around town volunteer their time to collect items like pesticides, oil and lead-based paints, fuel, electronics, and other items. Board of Health Director Sigal Reese fills us in on why Norwood created this day.
Part of it is environmental. We want to make sure that as much product gets recycled as possible, and that's a lot with the electronics. And with the hazardous materials, we want to make sure that you remove it from your home, just to avoid any accidental exposure, both to you, but also to the environment.
Also on Saturday, the Norwood Sportsman Club, which was formed in 1921 and is located on Nickel Street, held their first annual Louis Santoro Fishing Derby. For many young children, this was their first time catching a fish.
Jake, look at the camera and say, how happy were you when you caught the fish?
This happy.
Good.
So happy.
There were plenty of hot dogs and ice cream for the young fishermen, and prizes were awarded to all who entered. Stay tuned after this break to find out what's happening in your local government. Welcome back to Norwood News. Tuesday night, the Cable Commission met with Comcast to discuss its services to the town. The representative explained that Comcast is increasing internet speeds continually to satisfy its Norwood customers. NCM also appeared at a Cable Commission meeting for the first time since the August announcement of the Verizon 5-year license. NCM President Jerry Slater explains why.
We're disappointed, but that's not the reason that we had stopped. It was how we found out. So I don't know that the board is aware, the commission is aware of how we found out after, with good faith, trying to help with this process. We ended up, the last time our staff was here, June 21st, you all were going to go to we were told you were going to go to the Board of Selectmen in July. I know that didn't happen. We ended up getting a call from the press at the end of July asking us to comment on the 5-year contract. That's how we found out. No, we appreciate you saying
I did not
you knew.
intend for you to be left out, but I did take the case to the selectmen, and they make the final decision. And
all that we asked for is the communication.
And I will make sure that, Ed will make sure, and anybody who's chairing us now here will make sure that you don't feel like you're left out.
That was never our
intent.
It was never our intent.
Not a plan at all.
Both groups agreed to move forward and to work together in the best interests of Norwood Cable subscribers. Also on Tuesday night, the Zoning Board of Appeals held a meeting with 2 scheduled hearings. The first was a new construction project located at 20 Neponset Street. The proposal would be a 2-unit condominium to be sold after construction has been completed. After hearing from the applicant and neighbors, the board continued the hearing until their next meeting on June 5th. Continued from their last hearing, the Board of Appeals heard from the developers of the proposed large condominium complex project located at 1804 Washington Street. After taking a 10-minute recess, Attorney David Hearn withdrew the application without prejudice.
My clients have instructed me to request withdrawal without prejudice. They and I think that this is a shame, that the town is losing a good project. The town is losing a good project based on the holding of a very narrowly read case, narrowly focused on facts. That case covers one thing. I think it's an opportunity that the town has, but is losing now, and I'm saying that as a resident and taxpayer.
Wednesday night, the Conservation Commission met to discuss the Hawes Pond treatment plan. The Commission also mentioned plans to provide supplemental funds for the Norwood Chapel at the upcoming town meeting. The Commission's treasurer reported to the Commission that all of their ongoing projects, such as the fence for Nichols Street, are making significant progress. Looking forward, the Commission plans to implement conservation projects that can lessen the harmful effects of climate change, focusing on sea level rises and how that can impact wetlands in the town.
As we're looking at new projects, instead of just taking it carte blanche for whatever the engineer presents to us, we should be taking into consideration that we have larger storms, less frequent maybe, but the chances of flooding and the chances of climate change and temperature and things like that should come into our thinking process sometimes when we're looking at how do they propose to do that.
To watch the full government meeting, tune into the NCM government channel or watch them on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to find out what's happening around our schools.
Norwood Challenger Sports is comprised of friends and families of individuals with special needs and disabilities who have banded together to provide recreational opportunities for youth and young adults. The organization was created in the early 1990s by a few parents seeking to create an opportunity for their children to play baseball, and it has grown over the years to also include flag football, cheering, basketball, and special events. Our coaches are mainly parent volunteers, but we welcome siblings, friends, and local high school students. We are non-competitive and strive to make our activities a fun experience. We provide skill-building activities in a supportive atmosphere, and our players enjoy the combination of physical activity, social interaction, and a sense of camaraderie. For more information, visit www.challengersports.org. Welcome back to Norwood News. At the conclusion of this school year, there will be 2 principal vacancies.
one at the high school, and one at the Prescott Elementary School. This past week, staff and parents from each school met the 3 finalists for both of the positions. The finalists at the high school are Anthony Chiarello, Cindy Durain, and Hugh Galligan, and at the Prescott, Martha Wiley, Carolyn Shediak, and Brian Riley. Tune in to NCM on Wednesday night, May 23rd, as Superintendent Thompson presents his selections to the school committee. It was also announced that NHS Vice Principal Pranima Videra is a finalist in Milford for an assistant principal position. Now we will toss it over to school reporter Tim Rose to find out what else is happening around the schools.
Hi guys, let's take a look at events and activities happening around our Norwood school community. The NHS Visual Arts Department is excited to announce that Maya Tomlinson has won the 8th District of Massachusetts Congressional Art Contest. Only one piece of artwork from each congressional district is chosen. Her piece will hang in the U.S. Capitol building in the Rotunda for 1 year. This award is a huge honor. We are all very proud of you, Maya. The Parent Music Association recently presented distinguished senior musicians with awards and scholarships. These awards and scholarships were part of the annual Pops Night concert, and these seniors were chosen based on their dedication to the music program as well as qualifications pertaining to their particular award. Thomas O'Malley got the Louis Armstrong Jazz Award, Jasmine Santos the National Orchestra Award, Allison Saletti the National Choral Award and the PMA Scholarship, Harry Lane the John Philip Sousa Band Award, and Gabriel LaBelle the Paul M. Alberta Scholarship. At the Callahan School, first grade students combined STEM creations of castles with bee-bots to move the structure from point A to point B. Mr. Rowland combined the activities as part of a library time. Student excitement and engagement was at an all-time high. Materials for this challenge were part of the PPG grant recently awarded to the Callahan School. At the Cleveland School, Mrs. Catalano's class celebrated a special time with their moms or grandmothers at the Mother's Special Persons Day tea. Everyone enjoyed all the delicious treats, and most of the children even tried tea for the first time. Some of them liked the tea, and some were not impressed. The class did a great job with their speeches for their moms, and there were even some happy tears from some of the moms. A great time was had by all. Cleveland second grade students have completed a unit for nonfiction reading and writing in Readers and Writers workshops. They created nonfiction animal research reports by researching questions using websites and a research book. We are proud of all the students and want to congratulate them on a job well done. Last week, the Oldham School celebrated Teacher and Staff Appreciation Week. They started Monday with a breakfast of coffee, donated by Perks. Tuesday was a milk and cookie bar. Wednesday, a full salad bar donated by Kat, Gust, and Rao. Thursday, the Woot Woot wagon made its way through the hall, visiting staff and letting them fill a bag with snacks and treats. And then Friday featured a light lunch from Old Colonial Cafe. Over the course of the week, students filled out blossoms to attach to the thankful tree that blossomed in the front hall. Blossoms listed all the reasons we love our teachers and staff. By the end of the week, the tree was in full bloom. Last week, the Prescott School took their all-school field trip to the Wheelock Family Theater to see the production of Stuart Little. The trip was quite an adventure, with the second grade bus breaking down as they departed for the trip. The second graders made the best of their 45-minute wait for a new bus by practicing for their patriotic performance coming in May. Let's take a look and listen.
It's true under red, white, and blue, where there's never a post or graph. Let your old acquaintance be forgot. Keep your eye on the grand old flag.
Way to make the best of an unfortunate situation. When the students got back to the Prescott, the PTO had provided them with their own ice cream truck where everyone got a treat for free. It was a great day. As a celebration for the end of MCAS, the Prescott School had a program about the traditions of Chinese acrobatics. It included demonstrations of hand balancing, plate spinning, artistic cycling, foot juggling, ribbon dancing, and the manipulation of Chinese water bowls and Chinese yo-yos. Students got a glimpse of Chinese culture and learned a few basic phrases in Lilu's native Mandarin. Several volunteers were selected to attempt a few of the easier and safer acrobatic skills. Students learned the historical significance of traditional lion and dragon dances as Lee encouraged them to think about what it might have been like to grow up in a different place and time. Thanks Prescott PTO for bringing us the program. The Balch School has issued a challenge to Norwood High alumni Mark Kenny. Let's take a look at the clip.
My name is Crystal. I am from Haiti, and Mr. Kenny, I challenge you to walk off.
A challenge has been issued to well-known hand walker 1982 graduate Mark Kenny. We will continue to follow this exciting story. Well, that's it for your Norwood School News. As always, thanks so much for your continued support of our school community. Now let's go to Mike Maloof with the latest sports news.
Thanks, Tim. On Monday, boys and girls tennis both took on Norton. The girls lost in straight sets while the boys picked up the victory, 3-2. On the turf, the boys lacrosse lost to East Bridgewater 8-3. On Tuesday, seniors Erin Murphy and Kiki Ryan were honored at the Girls and Women in Sports Day. Wednesday was highlighted by a career day by senior volleyball star Jake Fleming. Fleming recorded 40 kills, 18 service points, 5 aces, 25 service receptions, and a 3-1 win over Brookline. Also on Wednesday, the Mustang track athletes competed in the Bay State Championships. Boys were led by Robert Noonan, who placed 3rd in the 100-meter and 4th in the long jump, while the girls were led by Rachel Fagan, who placed 7th in the 400-meter. Softball picked up its 10th win of the season against Sharon, while baseball lost to Canton. To stay up to date with everything Mustang sports, follow at @NHS_Mustangs on Twitter. And that's all for sports. Now back to the desk.
Thanks, Mike. The Norwood High School PTO Honors Banquet was held Tuesday night at the 4 Point Sheraton. This event recognizes the academic achievement of students from all grades. Principal Jonathan Bourne was the Master of Ceremonies, and A.B. Subchuk, President of the PTO, congratulated the students on their academic success. They also received greetings from School Committee Chair Maya Bodenhofer and Superintendent Dr. David Thompson. The highlight of the night was the individual introductions of the top 30 seniors. The introductions were read by their classmates and close friends and provided some insight and humor about each student. John Casali, the head of the math department, presented a member of the junior class with a very special award.
It is my honor and great pleasure to now present the Rensselaer Medal Award. The Rensselaer Medal Award is sponsored by Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute to recognize the outstanding achievement of young men and women and to motivate students towards careers in engineering, math, science, and technology. The medal is awarded to a promising member of the junior class who has distinguished him or herself in mathematics and science. The winner must be in the top 10% of the junior class and have the highest combined averages in pre-calculus and physics. I have a certificate from RPI to present to the winner tonight. This student will also receive a medallion to be given at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute at a special convocation ceremony held there in the fall, should the winner decide to attend RPI. In addition to the medallion, the winner will be awarded a scholarship. 2016 was the 100th anniversary of the Rensselaer Award, and the scholarship was raised at that time to $100,000. The selection process can oftentimes be very close and difficult. This year was no exception, coming down to several outstanding candidates whose exceptional grades are extremely similar. In the end, though, one candidate did have a slight advantage. I hope you'll join me in congratulating this year's recipient, Emily Murray.
The top 17 juniors were awarded individual college book awards, which is a long-standing tradition at Norwood High School. Also recognized at the honors banquet were the top 5 sophomores and the top 6 freshmen. For Dean Andy Garzinski, this is a special night and one of the highlights of his high school year.
It's been 5 years since I was last afforded this great opportunity to honor the top 17 juniors in the 2019 graduating class. I must say that the dean position isn't the most glamorous, but there are a couple times that we get to shine in the limelight a little bit, and this is probably my favorite one. Graduation is a great time when you get to move your class on and graduate students you've been close to for a long time. But this is even better because I get to honor the students that have worked so hard to get where they are and to see where they're going. It's a very, very exciting time for me.
Congratulations to all the students on their academic success. This weekend, the students will be trading in their pens and papers for dresses and suits. On Friday night, Norwood High School will be having their senior prom at the Seaport Hotel in Boston. Every year, before heading to the venue, the students all gather at the Common to take photos and see their friends. This has been one of the great traditions here in Norwood. We hope that everyone attending prom has a safe and fun night. That does it for this week in Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks so much for watching. I'm your host, Krista McDonald. Have a great weekend.